Hi, I'm Jake Burns from Stiff Little Fingers, and you're listening to the Ireland Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the Ireland Podcast. This is Fender Jackson. The time is 10:03 a.m. on Wednesday, October the 15th, 2025. I am on Zoom. I am on a video call with this person. Who are you and what do you do?
It's Gerry McAvoy here. And what do I do? I play guitar.
Do you play guitar?
I do play guitar as well, yeah. I mean, that was my first instrument.
Uh-huh.
Like a lot of bass players, the first instrument was always a guitar, and then they get demoted, which I did. Yeah.
Well, is it demoted or promoted?
Well, depends how you look at it.
Yeah.
Well, the simple fact was when we sort of kicked off with the college band, I've told the story before, we had a bass player who was a trainee butcher. So every time he came to rehearsals, he was covered in cuts. So they ended up he couldn't do it anymore. So our band leader, so-called band leader, said, "Right, McAvoy, you're on bass." And that was it.
Brilliant. So we're up to photo finish. We're going to talk about it. And also, I'd like to talk about the gigs with Joe Bonamassa.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to handle first?
I'll go for the photo finish.
Okay, we'll do that. So, I've made some notes here. Shin Kicker. Let's see my notes. I was writing down things. Did you record Shin Kicker live in the studio with the vocals live?
Yes, we did. I mean, all the recordings, most of the recordings were done that way, and Rory would add maybe some guitar afterwards or whatever, you know. Yeah, that was basically recorded live. I mean, Rory wanted that live sound, you know. He wanted that sort of energy, you know.
Yeah, I suppose we should actually talk about the 2-year hiatus between this album and the previous one. Do you want to explain about what happened there?
Well, we actually recorded an album prior to Photo Finish in San Francisco, which came out later in Notes from San Francisco, I think it was called. With the previous band, Rod Diath on drums and Lou Martin on keyboards. And Rory wasn't very happy with it. And he shelved it basically. And he changed the band around. He wanted to go back to a 3-piece. Because apparently in San Francisco, I mean, the rest of us had left and went back to England, whatever, and Rory stayed there to do some overdubs and things. And he went to see Sex Pistols' final gig, I believe, in San Francisco, and he was knocked out with the energy, and basically a 3-piece band with Johnny Rotten singing, you know. And he loved that 3-piece thing, and I think he was missing that, so he wanted to go back to the 3-piece thing. Hence, the Photo Finish. He brought on Ted McKenna on drums, so that would have been Ted's first album, Photo Finish, yeah. And some of the tracks that are on Photo Finish were actually recorded on the album that was shelved from San Francisco.
And why didn't he like the previous album or the previous version of that album?
I'm not sure what was going on in Rory's head at the time. I mean, a couple of the tracks that are on Photo Finish were actually recorded in San Francisco, Mississippi Sheiks and Brute Force and Ignorance. And I think Brute Force and Ignorance, we actually had Rory brought a Mexican mariachi band in to play on it, which is like very unusual. And I think he was just, I think he felt that his place in the studio at that time was being diminished. And I really don't know what was going through his head, but I know for a fact that he wasn't happy with the band at that stage, you know.
Yeah. And I mean, it sounds like the whole album itself sounds like it's quite captured. You know, I keep thinking about that Tom Waits line, which is songs don't like to be recorded. You kind of have to sneak up on them.
Yeah. That's
and
it. Yeah.
This sounds like the songs were snuck up on.
Oh, there were. I mean, a lot of late night sessions recorded in Germany in a Dieter Duck studio where the Scorpions recorded and different people, you know. it was a sort of relaxed atmosphere, and Rory was relaxed because he'd gotten over that hurdle, getting rid of some of the band members, and I stayed with him. And yet again, this live thing. I mean, we had Ted. Ted was in a booth. Myself and Rory were just in the room. So, the communication was great, and yeah, I mean, he would just go for that live feel,
Explain.
Some people say it can be detrimental to the sound quality or whatever, but I don't think so.
Explain that. Explain the recording setup then. You said you and Ted were in the same booth?
No, Ted was in a booth.
Okay.
But a physical booth, we could see him, very much, and Rory and I were just, across from each other in the room, not in booths. Mm-hmm. So to get that live thing, so when you're looking into the white of his eyes, sort of thing, so you know what's going on.
And was there a glass window between you and Ted?
There was.
Or it wasn't just an acoustic sort of baffle booth?
Oh, no, it was glass.
Yeah. So there's good separation.
Because of the split, because we were actually doing it live, so the spillage would have been a nightmare, eventually to mix, So I had to screen off the drums.
So that means there is bleed from your bass onto Rory's guitar then, and vice versa?
Yeah.
And did you notice anything in the mixing process as to how that played out?
No.
Just some.
I think it all worked out in the end.
Yeah. Just some.
With that bleeding over the instruments bleeding over each other, it gives that live feel.
Yeah. And you can correct it via EQ and stuff.
Yeah.
Like cut out the bass and the guitar and stuff.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go through the tracks. Brute Force and Ignorance. When did he decide to stick the mandolin in? Did he always have that in his head, or was that during the recording and he thought, it could do with something else?
It would have been an overdub. Obviously when you listen to the track, I mean, you would see what it requires or it does require. And the mandolin works really nice in that.
Yeah. I in my head, I didn't expect the mandolin. I was always expecting a capo up the neck there and a high pitched strings on a guitar. Yeah. And then we never saw it because they do this. I don't know if you've heard of the Nashville tuning, which is instead of recording a 12-string guitar, they do a regular 6-string and then the 12 strings of the 12. So I was expecting that.
Yeah. Well, I think that, as I say, the mandolin added a certain something to the track,
And interesting, it comes out for the solo.
True, yeah.
Why is that?
It wasn't a mistake. That was done on purpose, I think, yeah.
Can you explain why there would be no mandolin in the solo?
I can't. Maybe it would have swamped things a bit. If there's mandolin in there as well,
Yeah.
I think there was plenty going on the song besides that. So it's funny, it's something I never thought about actually. Why the mandolin actually came out in the solo,
Yeah.
Maybe it was to lift the solo more.
Cruise All Night. I've written here I've a question, but we've answered it, which is the vocals were recorded with the music.
Yeah.
And which guitar was recorded with the bass and drums? Was it the electric or the acoustic?
The electric.
So the acoustic was dubbed?
That was dubbed, afterwards, yeah.
And what is
it's that rockabilly thing, I mean, it's like a, that's the effect he was after,
And you're not playing with click tracks there?
No.
Yeah.
No, Rory wouldn't have a click track anywhere near him. So the beauty of that is the drums would speed up a little bit, which adds excitement. I mean, a click track's great, yeah. I mean, I've used it myself, on certain things, but it does sort of, it keeps you metronomic, which, it doesn't actually let you breathe. I mean, certain guys can do it,
Yeah.
not me, but I'm not a fan of click tracks.
And does that? I'm guessing that the acoustic was recorded pretty much straight away after recording the track.
I wouldn't say straight away afterwards. Probably he would have taken a couple of listens to it, and then decided what to put on. See with the mandolin, put the mandolin on afterwards, maybe the acoustic guitar afterwards, which lends itself to the track again. That rockabilly thing,
Yeah, the acoustic really gives it life, actually.
I can't remember.
It just brings it bounces itself. It bounces the song out of itself.
Yeah.
There's something about. I've talked before about Warren Hewitt, Produce Like a Pro. This guy got a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite guy on the internet. He gives away his secrets from production side, and he talks a lot about because the brain's very complex and the ear is very complex. So once you have that metronomic groove going on, as you say, for example, the brain subconsciously goes, "This isn't as interesting as if there's no click, if there's no click." So the acoustic, for me, it gives the song new life. There's those peaks and troughs where that wouldn't be there if the acoustic wasn't there.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, totally.
The hand claps.
The hand claps. That was all of us.
That was all of you.
That was fun.
Just the three of you.
It's just three of us. Yeah. Yeah.
And again, that's from listening to it and say, "Oh, it could do with some hand claps here."
Yeah. That's just to get to give it that rockabilly feel.
Yeah.
If you're listening to those old rockabilly songs, but there's always acoustic guitar banging away somewhere in the background, and hand claps and things like that. Yeah.
Cloak and Dagger.
That was an unusual one, sort of funky song. Well, I mean, the title "Cloak and Dagger." I mean, Rory was a massive fan of detective novels and spy novels, as I'm sure you're aware of.
Mm-hmm.
And that was I mean, a sort of a turn in direction for Rory doing that sort of song, Cloak and Dagger sort of. And I think possibly because of Ted or his style of drumming really lent itself to that song.
Yeah. Talk a bit about. You said about the band. He got rid of the band, but I stayed, as if like he had no choice there.
That was Rory's decision.
Yeah. So you've talked about this before, but anybody who's new to our conversations, explain why you stayed.
Why I stayed?
Yeah, or how you stayed.
Well, besides everything else, I mean, besides Rory being the boss and that, I mean, I was a close friend, and I couldn't see myself doing anything else anyway. I had some offers coming through, which I didn't accept around that time.
Like from who?
Status Quo, for one.
This is what year? 79 was it?
I would have been 79, yeah.
Okay, 78, yeah. Released in 78.
Yeah, 79.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the bass player had left, or he was living in Australia, Alan Lancaster. And I got a call a couple of times actually from the management. And they wanted me to go out. I think they were recording in Stockholm or something, in Sweden. And they wanted me to go out there, which maybe I should have done just to see, but I didn't.
Why not?
So I stuck with Rory. I don't know, maybe it's loyalty. I don't know.
So there's a bit of codependency going on there between you and Rory?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about Ted joining. What did that mean? How did it change the groove?
Well, excuse me. After when we got back together, myself and Rory went into the studio, went to our studios, and started trying out different drummers. In fact, Brendan O'Neill was one of the drummers that came down, but didn't make the grade at that stage. Loads of drummers came in. Must have been about 15 drummers at different times. And it was the engineer at the time, Colin Fairley, who mentioned about Ted. Yeah, because he knew Ted from the sensational Alex Harvey band. So he gave Ted a call, and Ted came in, and it seemed to gel straight away. It took Rory a couple of days to actually accept him. you know. But it was, I think it was perfect for the gig. Ted was great. Heavy drummer, big guy.
Yeah, he's fond of the bell.
He is, yeah.
The bell and the cymbal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overnight Bag. Did you have a chorus effect on your bass?
No. There was an effect of some sort. It wasn't a chorus. It was done. I was done in the mix.
Right.
You know, I think it was just to pull it out. You know, because there's 12 string in that song as well, isn't there? There's a whole bunch of stuff on that Overnight Bag.
Yeah.
A great song.
Yeah. So talk about the effects that you put in afterwards. Do you know what they were?
I don't.
But
because that would have been done at the mixing stage, and I wasn't actually at the mixing.
Yeah.
So it would have been an idea of Rory's to put an effect. But I know it wasn't chorus. I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't chorus.
Some form of modulation, like phase flange?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why were you not at the mix?
Why was not at the mix? Rory always preferred to do the mixing on his own with the engineer.
Right.
You know.
Why?
Because the amount of times that I've been at mixes, you know, with different bands, you know, Nine Below Zero or whatever, you know, and as soon as one guy asks for a little bit of volume, then the next guy asks for a little bit of volume, the next guy asks for a little bit of volume. So it goes round in ever increasing circles. So Rory would like to be in control.
When did he learn that?
When did he learn that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, with taste, I would imagine that they would have all been involved in the mix. Mm-hmm. I don't know for certain, but I think it would have been that would be the case, you know. Yeah. Now, you know, maybe Rory just thought, you know, the less, the better.
Yeah.
You know, and he could take control.
It makes sense to have somebody to bounce the ideas off, you know, to say, I'm not too sure about the balance of that, you know.
Yeah, well, normally with the engineer's good enough. You know, he can bounce ideas off of each other, I think, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked about Ted, but tell me about the difference of no keyboard in this album.
Well, I mean, it's what Rory wanted to get back to. He wanted to get back to that sort of three-piece, sort of, you know, no frills thing, you know, with the keyboard. Playing with the keyboard was great. But as I said, I mean, Rory just found that he wanted to get back to more guitar-based.
Yeah, it was that Sex Pistols
mandolins and 12-string guitars and acoustic guitars and whatever else. But I think maybe he found that the keyboards could be very, very domineering. That they could take up a lot of room.
Yeah.
Sonically.
As you see with the mariachi band, he comes second place. Well, third, fourth place. Yeah. Shadow Play.
Yeah, that's Rory's punk song, isn't it? Yeah, that was because we actually rehearsed all the tracks in Cork, in the old boat club in Cork, and Rory pulled that one out of the bag, Shadow Play, and I thought it was great. I mean, the riff is fantastic. I mean, the chord structure is it's very exciting, and still is to this day. You know, people love that song. You know, and of course with Ted McKenna pumping along, it's, you know. Yeah, that's a great song. Funny enough, actually, in the studio is a little sidetrack here. There's a couple of girls used to hang about the studio, friends of Dina Dirks, the owner, you know, and we were recording Shadow Play. Right, Ted's in the booth, Rory and I, and the two girls sort of came in and stood at the top of the stairs where the studio was, you know. So, and Rory was impressed looking at the girls now. So we kept on playing Shadow Play, and this went on for about 10 minutes, then 12 minutes, then 14 minutes. And I heard the drum stop, and Ted just threw the sticks up in the air and walked out. And Rory killed himself laughing. That was funny. Poor guy. I mean, Shadow Play is a tough enough song to play, you know, but when you're playing it for 12, 15 minutes.
Were you recording all of that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's somewhere.
That is somewhere indeed, yeah.
Wow. Do you
That'd be
know?
interesting to hear.
Do you know where that is?
Sorry?
Where would that tape be?
I'm sure maybe Daniel, Rory's nephew, would have his hands on that sort of stuff. You know, all the outtakes. I mean, I've actually got a cassette somewhere of the outtakes that the engineer sort of ran off for us. You know, just to listen to for that. Because as I said, it was a fun time, and Rory was having, and we were doing lots of different skits in the studio. You know, like pretending to be a jazz band and you know, doing songs. Only the Lonely, Roy Orbison song. I would do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Just you know, it was enjoyable. You know.
I play
And
Only the Lonely.
I've got it somewhere. I must dig it out somewhere.
So you have a recording of Rory singing Only the Lonely?
Yeah.
Wow. I used to play that in the banjo.
Is that right?
Solo punk banjo. We didn't talk about his accident.
Oh, in the taxi in
Yeah.
LA. Yeah.
Talk about that.
I don't know what happened. I mean, I wasn't there, obviously. I mean, he trapped his finger in the door of the taxi, and as Rory said, he was stone cold sober. You know, it's just one of those weird things that happened. You know, I mean, I saw the bandage afterwards. His finger. God, man, he was lucky. Lucky he didn't lose it. You know.
And how was it? His finger or thumb?
I think it was thumb.
And left thumb.
It would have been the left thumb, yeah. Which wouldn't be very good.
Yeah, so because, you know, people might think...
the whole of the neck, yeah.
Yeah, people might think, oh, it's the least important digit, or maybe the right pinky, or, you know, or something. But talk about why is that so important?
Well, some of it's physics. I mean, to hold the neck of the guitar, you need your thumb. As simple as that. I mean, you can't just lay your hand on the neck of the guitar and play it. It has to be some sort of counterbalance.
Yeah.
Which is the thumb.
And how long was he out of commission?
Not too long, actually. A matter of weeks.
Okay.
I think he went back back to Cork to convalesce.
Yeah. Did that have any psychological effect, do you think?
I don't think so.
Okay, just a unlucky thing. Let's get over it.
Just unlucky. Just an accident, you know. And what can you do, you know?
Yeah. Mississippi Shakes, you're saying that it was recorded in the previous sessions.
That's right, yeah, with the keyboards and I mean, it's based on the Mississippi and Beale Street Shakes, sort of blues, you know, buskers, Beale Street, and that's what the song is about. I mean, Rory grabbed an album somewhere in the States, the Mississippi and Beale Street Shakes, and wrote a song about them, Mississippi Shakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't the Cult write a song called Mississippi Shake or something?
Did they?
Yeah, something like that from their Electric album.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it just popped into my head there now. Last of the Independents.
That was a movie that Rory and I went to see. Because on off days, I mean, we were touring, especially in the States, we would always go to the movies together. And it was a movie called Charlie Barrick. Great crime thriller, Walter Matthau. And he was a crop duster pilot. And his company was called Last of the Independents. It was written on the back of his overalls, you know, in the movie. So Rory took that and wrote a song about it.
Amazing. It reminds me of a conversation Terry Woods had with Shane MacGowan talking about the Donegal Express.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he just told him this story about the Donegal Express. And then all of a sudden, Shane writes a song called the Donegal Express.
Express, yeah.
And then Terry was just amazed that it'd be something that's so, you know, throw away. Turns out into being a piece of art.
Yeah, a great song.
Yeah. So, how do you feel? How do you feel about Rory and those moments?
I mean, have you listened to Rory's music? Most of the songs are like every day. It's what you experience. You know, like a simple fact of going to the movies and seeing this movie called Charlie Varick, and he sees Last of the Independents, so it's stuck in his mind. You know, and wrote a song with that title.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the movie. But obviously talking about Last of the Independents, being independent as he was. You know, but that's where the ideas come from. You know, just the conflict, like you said about Donegal Express, the same sort of thing. You know, just out of the blue. Oh wow, that's a great title.
I'm laughing as well because you said crop dusting, and I used to be a teacher in China, and
All right.
and my boss, who's he was like, between me and the principal. He was fantastic. He's since passed on, but he used to talk about crop dusting in the classroom. So you'd fart and you'd walk across the classroom and then it would like crop dust behind you, you know. I mean, that's my side. Okay, Fuel to the Fire, the last track.
Yeah, it's a nice song, yeah. I actually with a band of friends, my band, we did an instrumental of that song, actually. Don't hold that against me. Did an instrumental, a lovely song.
Yeah.
Fuel with Fire. You know.
Is that released, that instrumental?
It's on, I think it's on YouTube somewhere.
Okay.
It was actually, we did it like an online thing. This is during the
COVID
lockdown, you know, after COVID. And yeah, it's on our YouTube somewhere. Band of friends. I think we did it for Rory's 50th anniversary.
Right. Yeah. I'll look
the Rory Gallagher album's 50th anniversary. We did that song.
There's a couple of tracks that are bonus tracks. Early Warning.
Yeah.
Was that recorded same session?
No.
Okay.
That was recorded at a different time. I think much later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of those tracks that were recorded that were never used, you know. You know, obviously we really didn't want them on the album at that time, you know, but it's great, you know, for the fans out there to hear those songs that, you know, that didn't go on the original album, yeah.
That song, sorry, there is, but that song, Early Warning, I'm just thinking about that riff, right? So Rory comes in with that riff and he lays it on you guys. What do you do? What's your process? Does he show you the hands? Does he tell you what the chords are? Do you just go by the ear?
Go by the ear.
Yeah.
And vision. Because I was a guitar player, so I could see what chords Rory's playing, you know, so I could go along with it, you know.
Yeah.
Play the bass to it, you know. Rory was always, he would come in and just start playing, have a go with this, guys. He wouldn't say, this is such and such, that, you know, he'd play a couple of hours, then we'd get the tempo and then we'd just join in. And then bit by bit, you know, would tighten it up.
Jigsaw falling into place.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great riff.
It is good.
And it's one of those songs it's one of those riffs that you think the drums are going to speed up and take it away because it just demands to go fast. But it doesn't. Yeah. It just sits back.
It does, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of Mr. McKenna. He was a you wouldn't get in Ted's way, put it that way. You know, he would hold that beat down, you know.
And what about yourself? I mean, do you find yourself wanting to speed up, or are you quite, for want of a better word, metronomic?
I'm reasonably metronomic, yeah, because you know, when I started playing guitar, I took guitar lessons with a metronome.
Yeah.
You know, the guitar teacher always had a metronome, so it's, you know, you could sit your time properly, you know.
Did you ever see that video with Carol Kaye making the metronome groove?
No, I didn't.
I'll have to send it to you. It's brilliant. She's just, you know, because it's a metronome. She's playing either side of it, and it's just makes the whole thing bounce along. It's incredible.
She was great as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was.
She's part of the Wrecking Crew who played in Pet Sounds and all those other albums.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Jukebox Annie is the other one.
That's right. That was Corey later, yeah. Or was it Corey later? Or maybe it was on the same session. Because for some reason, I never heard the final mix of that, or just because it wasn't on the album, obviously, you know. But an unusual little song.
Yeah.
Jukebox Annie.
It's one of the songs that I was listening to. I was thinking, which is being recorded live there? Did you record the bass and the drums and then do all the guitars afterwards? Because
I think the three of us played it live, and then there was bits and pieces on afterwards, yeah.
Okay. So
I think there was thoughts of putting an accordion on it.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a mouth organ on it.
There's a mouth organ instead of the accordion, yeah. But I really had an idea of putting the accordion on, you know.
Yeah.
Which would have lent itself to the track as well, yeah.
Yeah. How do you rank that album?
Oh, it's a great album.
In terms of other Rory releases, how do you?
Well, it's you know, it took on a new life because of Ted. You know, I mean, you know, his approach to the songs. It's probably the rocky. It's more rocky than a lot of the previous albums. And I think Rory was writing that way at that particular time. You know. Yeah, no, I think it stands up there. I mean, two of my favorite albums are actually Juice, the original in the early days, and Photo Finish. Yeah, so it's up there with me, yeah.
And I think there was pressings made of this album before it went out. Do you know about that? So
no.
So the pressings went out, and then Rory pulled the plug. So I'm just wondering, do you have 9 copies of that you can put up on eBay?
I don't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, that's according to, if you want to believe Wikipedia. Let's see. Background. At the last minute, initial copies of the album had been pressed. Gallagher decided to simply scrap the Mazer-produced album.
Oh, that's the San Francisco one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I knew that, yeah.
So there was copies pressed?
There was copies pressed, yeah.
Do you have some?
I don't. I wish I did, but I don't.
Would you have been given some?
If it had been given the go-ahead, yes, I would have, but obviously it wasn't given the go-ahead. I mean, I remember talking to Donald about it, like, and Donald was, at the time, he was furious, you know, because Rory just went, no, threw it in the bin.
Uh-huh.
Literally dumped it in the garbage.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was obviously feeling very strongly about things at that particular time, you know.
Did that create a little bit of a rift between Donald and Rory?
I think for an hour or so, yeah. You know, I mean, it's Rory. I mean, it's his thing, you know. So you got to go with it, you know.
It's his name.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so talk about Joe Bonamassa.
Mr. Bonamassa, yeah, it was great. It all sort of came about last 2024. It was. I got a call from Peter Aiken Promotions, you know, talking about putting this thing together. Would I fancy getting involved with it? I said, yeah. So they had a press conference in Cork, September 2024. Joe came over with a band, not his own band, but a pickup band to do the Rory thing, you know. So sat down, had a chat, and said, well, it'd be great to do it, you know. And you know, I mean, I didn't know exactly what I would be doing, the whole set, but it was just a couple of songs, you know. And it reached fruition eventually, you know, and then we did the 3 nights at Cork in the Marquee. You know, it was it was fun. I mean, and the audience, the audience were fantastic. The Cork audience, well, a lot of people from other parts of the world were there for those 3 shows. You know, it was great. You know, I mean, sold out shows, 5,000 people a night. You know, so they played at 15,000 people in Cork. You know, I was like, wow, fantastic. And yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it. And playing with Joe, he's a great player. And for him to do that, to do the Rory thing was, I know he's a big fan. He always has said that in the past. He's a fan of Rory. And I was wondering how he would approach the songs, because I mean it was mostly Irish Tour '74. That was the first album he listened to when he was a kid, and he did the songs from that, except for a couple thrown in Bad Penny and a couple of other ones. But he did it in his own way, you know, and the people accepted it. The audience accepted it, you know, and it was great. And the band were great, and I enjoyed it.
You talk about the audience. I was part of the audience.
You weren't there. That's right. You were there.
I was there on a Wednesday, and a few things came out of my head whenever you're talking. One was whenever you were checking into, we were staying in some hostel, I think, above a bar, my friend and I and John Ryan. And what happened was, we were coming out, and these people just sort of gave each other hugs and said, it's like Ballyshannon, but in Cork.
It's very true, actually. Yeah. It was amazing that you know, I was there for about a week. You know, doing some rehearsals. I mean, I flew in and did the rehearsal, and Joe had booked me for 2 rehearsals. One I literally arrived on the plane from the plane and got driven straight to the rehearsal place, and he had booked the rehearsal for the next day and the next afternoon. But I went in and played the 2 songs, you know, Bullfrog Blues and Treat Her Right. And that was it. And he said, "Oh, don't worry about the rehearsals tomorrow then." I said, "Thanks, Joe." I have played those songs before. And it was great. It was very, you know.
That was funny, actually. Whenever you came out, it was like you were just laying it down. It's like, okay, not much rehearsing required in that one, you know. It's great. And how do you compare playing with Rory and playing with Joe?
2 separate things completely.
Explain.
I mean, they both got their own way of playing, their own direction. You know, I mean, Joe's he can play so many different styles. You know, as could Rory. You know, but sort of, you know, different animals. You know, I mean, Rory was you know, straight ahead. Like, I mean, no holds barred. You know, tooth and nail. You know, where Joe's a bit more laid back. You know, but saying that, I mean, she's still a fine player.
Joe struck me as a guy who's flawless, and Rory strikes me as a guy who's more rough around the edges.
Well, the thing about Rory, that even when I was a kid, when I was a fan, I used to go and see Taste in Belfast. It was the danger when you watched Rory. You were waiting for something to happen, something to slip. You were waiting for a screw up. And that was the danger, and it never happened.
Yeah,
you know. But that's what Rory would keep that edge, you know, keep that edge. Where Joe's a bit more, as I say, a bit more laid back, you know.
I play guitar, and I describe my guitar soloing as constantly rescuing itself.
Oh, fair enough.
I think I'm not quite Rory level, obviously, but there's that. You talk about that danger. And there's added excitement to that, where you think, is he going to make it? You know, and then
exactly,
yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of it, you know. That's why you're hanging on by your fingernails, you know. What's going to happen, you know.
And I remember Joe playing. He was playing this like super fast single note, and he was playing really loud, and then like it's like a perfect curve in terms of dynamics or output or volume or whatever you want to say, but it was just getting gradually quieter, whereas like you couldn't hear it, but he didn't change his volume. It was all in the right hand.
Right.
I remember thinking, this guy is just flawless, you know.
Yeah, as I say, fine guitarist.
Okay, so I suppose we should wrap it up there. Short and sweet as usual. And you're up for doing this again?
Absolutely, Andy. I'd love to.
Brilliant. And what's next for you? Where are you off to?
Germany, Austria, in a couple of weeks' time.
With Band of Friends?
With Band of Friends, yeah.
I was just thinking about this morning. Why do you not attach the name Rory Gallagher to Band of Friends?
I don't think that's. Well, I mean, with the promo that the venues would use, that use that, Rory Gallagher sort of tag, I mean, in the past, a couple of promoters said, why don't you just call it the Rory Gallagher Band? It's not the Rory Gallagher Band, It's myself and Brendan, Brendan O'Neill, who played with Rory for 10 years.
Yeah.
But I think it's a tag that, people can work it out for themselves.
Yeah. But the thing is, I was just thinking about myself, you look at a poster, sometimes it's good to be spoon-fed,
Oh, no, I know. No, yeah, I agree. But I think, we'll see what happens in Germany.
Brilliant, Gerry. Okay, well, here. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, Fiona, thank you very much for having me.
Good, cool. Keep on rocking.
Take care now.
Dum 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 dum. Oh yeah 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 yeah. Whoa 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 whoa. Only the lonely. Only the lonely. Only the lonely know the way I feel tonight. Only the lonely know this feeling ain't right. There goes my baby. There goes my heart. They're gone forever, so far apart. But only the lonely know why I cry. Only the lonely. Dum 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 dum. Oh yeah 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 yeah. Oh 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 oh. Only the lonely. Only the lonely. Only the lonely know the heartaches I've been through. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Only the lonely know I cry and cry for you. Maybe tomorrow a new romance. No more sorrow. But that's a chance you've gotta take if you're lonely, heartbreak. Only the lonely. Thanks for listening to the Ireland podcast, celebrating, arguably, the coolest island on the planet. If you like what you've heard, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, share with family or friends, or maybe even leave us a positive review. Your support helps guarantee our future. So, until next time, let us all celebrate the island.